The chosen one has arrived. Let's talk about it.
It's Crosby. Crosby on Kunitz and shot. Penguins win it! Sees part for Crosby to the goal. He scores!
Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me?
And on Fane, the shot. He scores! Here's Crosby with a burst of speed up the middle. Gets open and scores!
They're a collective.
Andy Kyoto is beating Minamaki's brains in. What a show!
Due to injuries, the Pittsburgh Penguins called up the entire Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins team. Well, that's not actually true. They called up about 4 players, a goaltender, because the list on the IR just got a whole bit longer. Achari, Jari, and Brageau, all placed on IR, which means we only have one current goaltender, and we had to call up the chosen one, the guy who will save the franchise, Murashov. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that, why he is the chosen one, why there is so much anticipation around his name. But a familiar face also got called up. So, Josh, what happened? We saw this unbelievable game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Penguins just fell apart in the third, and everyone was scratching their heads at the final horn. How could this have happened? Well, it looks like we got our answer. What was going on with Tristan Jarry?
So apparently it's being listed that Jarry was hurt during some point that Toronto Maple Leafs game. They're classifying it as a lower body injury. The NHL vague injury rules continue here. We have no idea exactly, but it is a lower body injury. And he was placed on IR for 3 weeks, minimum of 3 weeks. So he's going to be out for quite some bit. And, we're going to be relying probably heavily on Shilov's moving forward. Right. But with Jarry, there were 2 other additions, like you mentioned, Noel Achari and Justin Brageau, both listed as upper body injuries. And Noel Achari will be out a minimum of 3 weeks. Justin Brageau, a minimum of 4 weeks. Brageau, that stinks a little bit just because he's already been out. So now it's 4 weeks. I've been trying to find clarification if it's 4 weeks from his initial injury or 4 weeks from his IR designation. So if it's from the IR designation, that would be from November 5th, 4 weeks from November 5th. So big hit to the team.
Big loss.
So yeah, had to make some moves. Had to bring up some guys from Wilkes-Barre. Was kind of expected when 3 guys are being put on IR. But I think some of these names are not the ones that we were expecting to be called up.
And also, just to add in, it wasn't just injuries that prompted these call-ups. We also sent down Owen Pickering. Yeah. So Owen Pickering, after a very rough start, so he got called up due to the Caleb Jones injury. And Owen Pickering came up, and he was partnered up with Brunick for the previous 2 games. And I'll just say, they did not look good. So they did not look good whatsoever, Owen Pickering and Brunick. And it looks like Owen Pickering got sent back down. So they're creating space for these guys who get called up. And the question is, what do we do with Brunick? But we, as of right now, at the time of recording, we have no word on what they are doing with Harrison Brunick. He did, in fact, play his 9th game against Toronto. That is with Owen Pickering. Owen Pickering got sent down to Wilkes-Barre, and there's a question mark over Brunick. But Josh, now that the people have been put out, Pickering, Achari, Brageau, Jarry, who are the guys that they are calling up to replace these guys?
Yeah, so the names that were kind of the surprises were Ryan Graves, defenseman, and forward
Wow.
Danton Heinen.
Yep.
So those two names were kind of the surprise. They obviously got sent down to Wilkes-Barre via waivers right after training camp and preseason.
Mhm.
Kind of a surprise, but, not at the same time. I think it was a move where we have been long asking for for Ryan Graves. But Danton Heinen, I guess, just the odd man out in terms of roster availability. So they both were sent down to Wilkes-Barre via waivers, both cleared and played well. Both played 10 games in Wilkes-Barre. Danton Heinen is currently tied first in overall points for forwards at 14. Wow. So he's got 5 goals, 9 assists in 10 games. So he has done well, produced well in Wilkes-Barre. We mentioned it a couple times on our live stream as well in previous episodes. He's taken the assignment in stride and has done well.
Yeah.
You can say the same exact thing about Ryan Graves. Obviously, defenseman, you're not going to get a whole bunch of production, especially someone like Ryan Graves who isn't, an offensive-minded defenseman.
Right.
However, in 10 games, he has 7 points, 6 assists, 1 goal. But he leads the AHL in 4 defensemen. I want to just preface that 4 defensemen with a 9+-. So, I mean, take that for what you will. It's good.
It's good.
It's good. It's a positive for Ryan Graves.
Listen, we were despising Ryan Graves all last year, the year before. He didn't live up to expectation. And I think you nailed it with the Danton Heinen statement. He took the assignment in stride. And rather than hang his head low and say, man, I got sent down to juniors, that's the worst thing that any athlete wants to hear. What did I say?
Juniors.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Harrison Brunick on the brain.
Yeah, Harrison Brunick. Thank you. But that's the worst thing, is to be sent down to the minors. But you got sent down, and instead of hanging his head low, he produced. I mean, what? He had 2 points all of last season? If that, I think so. I think.
Yeah.
2 points? That's off the top of my dome. But 7 points already this early in the season, it means he's contributing. It means he's playing well. Why not reward that? Now, if he doesn't do well, we run into a very weird situation, don't we? So we run into a situation, same thing with Danton Heinen. We run into a weird situation. What does that mean in terms of the roster and where we go from here?
Yeah, and that's why I was very surprised at these 2 call-ups, because, I guess it kind of goes hand in hand with the Owen Pickering demotion to Wilkes-Barre. I think that's what triggers Ryan Graves being called up. But the fact that it is Ryan Graves and Danton Heinen is a surprise because they aren't waiver exempt. So if they do choose to send them back down to Wilkes-Barre, they're going to have to clear waivers, and that will be the interesting hurdle. But in the same breath, we have essentially weeks to figure this out because of the injuries to the players on the roster. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm hopeful that they will play well. And, we've talked about it in the past. Just because the trade deadline is in March doesn't mean that trades can't happen prior to that. Okay? So if they are playing well and roster spots need to be, made available, don't be surprised if there's a trade in November and December, essentially, because we got 4 weeks on a couple of these guys to figure out, if their roster spots are safe for when they return. So it'll be interesting. So those are the I guess 2 skaters that got called up. But you alluded to it. There was a goaltender that got called up to fill that second goalie roster spot here in the NHL, and that was none other than Sergei Murashov.
Yeah, Sergei Murashov. Listen, there's two
He's here.
camps right now. A lot of people are in Camp A, which is he's the savior of the franchise. Okay, there's Camp A and Camp B. Now I'm in Camp B, and let me define Camp B before you freak out. Camp B is we really like Murashov, but I want to see what he's like before I jump on the This is the savior of the franchise.
It's a
Now,
wait
Josh,
and see.
It's a wait and see. That's Camp B.
Yeah.
There's Camp A, Camp B, but both camps love Murashov. Josh, why do we like Murashov so much? And is he all what he claims and what he is prophesied to be?
Yeah. So I will give you just the details of this season first.
Sure.
And then I'll allude to the overall picture as to why the hype, I think, is so legit. But 7 games played in the start of his AHL season, 5 wins, 2 losses, a 1.73 goal against average, and a .931 save percentage.
Jeez.
Those are stupid numbers. Even AHL, those are
good numbers.
stupid numbers.
Not denying the numbers. Numbers don't lie.
Yep. And then not only were those numbers good, but he was also awarded AHL Goaltender of the Month for October.
Yeah.
So that guy played his tail off to start the season in the AHL. So
100%.
honestly, it was a no-brainer to call him up. It's going to be him when there's an injury. It just made sense. And then obviously we have Blomqvist, who is currently also hurt. So yep, not able to use him. But in terms of the hype for Murashov, it's hard to deny, just because as you look throughout the past, his short tenure, not only with Pittsburgh, but just with his professional career. You start most recently with training camp and preseason. He looked sharp. Yeah. Obviously, I think the first game he played was a little rusty, but hey, first game, new year, it's going to be a little shaky. But he bounced back, played well the rest of the preseason.
Yeah.
You go back to last year, where he split time into ECHL and the AHL. ECHL dominated.
Yeah.
Averaged a 92% save percentage. Goals against were under 2. He just was rocking it. I think for a while he was undefeated in the ECHL, and then he got called up to the AHL, and then again I think he went 10 straight games of wins. He won 10 straight games, 10 starts. I think he had to get to 11 to tie Marc-Andre Fleury's record in the AHL of 11 straight wins as a starting goaltender in the AHL for the Penguins. But again, when he got called up to AHL, also 92% save percentage, under 2 goals against average. The guy is just the mark of consistency. So then the year before that, he was playing in Russia. And over there, he was averaging a 92% save percentage, averaging, I think it was just over 2 goals against over in Russia. But, I mean, the competition in Russia is, what you want to say, third behind USA and Canada in terms of, like, world talent.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's an argument to you know, whatever order you want to put it in. We'll just say they're top 3 in talent for... you know, in terms of ice hockey. So,
sure.
I mean, that's where all the hype stems from. It's the consistent numbers and the level of competition that he has had. It's not like he's playing in juniors or at college and he's putting up, you know, just average to above average numbers. He's putting up elite numbers against heavy competition, against professionals. So that's where it is.
That's the thing, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's where, and then to top it all off, I just forgot this part. He's 21 years old.
Yeah, he has a bright future ahead of him.
He's young.
100%. Now, listen, those stats alone really good. I mean, I'm not going to deny the numbers. Those are phenomenal stats. He showed that he could be the guy, and especially when with injuries last season, with Blomqvist going up and down from AHL to the NHL, Sergei Murashov looked really great in Wilkes-Barre. So that, usually sometimes when you see goalies on that rotation, they kind of fluctuate with how well they play. Murashov, not so much. Murashov was pretty consistent going through that. Once again, hey, he got called up. Most likely he is going to start Thursday against the Washington Capitals. I would love to see
that soon.
I think he does get the first start. If you're calling him up, you might as well see what he can do. But then yet again, I could also see them just playing Sheila. So I don't know. It's really a toss-up. I think it's whatever makes sense. If they feel confident about Murashov by Thursday morning, I think you might see him get the start. But it's also like, you have Saturday's games. So
that's where I think he gets a start.
Yeah,
I think he gets it for Saturday.
Yeah,
Shelovs gets Thursday.
Are we home on Saturday? I believe we are.
We were just away for 5 straight games. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to be home for a little bit.
I would believe that we're home, but obviously you don't know. We are away, so all that for nothing.
Okay.
So he could get an away game against New Jersey. Could be a possibility. Who knows? But regardless, I'm excited for the call-ups. I'm excited for Murashov. I would like to see how he does and how he plays. I like to see Ryan Graves and, Danton Heinen. I love a good redemption story. Love a good redemption story.
Who do you want it more for?
Ryan Graves.
Yeah, 100%.
So 100%. I want Ryan Graves to be the defenseman we thought he was when he comes back.
Yes.
So I want to see him come back and be like, this is the guy from New Jersey we got that we signed to a 5-year deal because we knew he was going to be that tall defenseman, defensive-minded that we really wanted. I'm expecting him to be good, but another good redemption is Danton Heinen because Danton Heinen is literally killing the AHL, literally demolishing it. Which is such a good feeling, I'm sure, for him. Because that just proves, like, dude, I belong in the NHL. Now, I am throwing this out there. Please do not get upset. Is this all for trades? Eventually. Because I will say, if they play well in this 3-week stretch, and we get Brajo, and we get Chari back, and we get Chari back. I'm not saying Murashov, sorry. So exclude goalies.
Just in terms of skaters.
Yeah, and all that. Don't forget, McGroarty is coming back as well. So there's going to be a log jam at the roster. Kevin Hayes, all right. Log jam at the roster. And you have Danton Heinen and Ryan Graves, who do not have 2-way contracts. Okay? We would either have to put them on waivers, the number 1 point leader in the AHL on waivers, or do we make a trade? Now, do I want to see that happen? No. I want to see people succeed, and I want them to be wearing a penguin on their jersey, okay? But I can also see where this could be a win-win for Dubas. Bring them up. They succeed for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and then, wow, all of a sudden they have draft capital at the end of November. That's strange because December. That's what I'm saying. Additional draft cap, not just drafts, not just prospects, NHL ready guys. And guess what? Around December, where teams were thinking they were going to be further along than they were, like, I don't know, New York Rangers, for example, or any other team that wanted to be further along than they are, they're going to try to make additions to guys who are little underappreciated, like Danton Heinen and Ryan Graves. So I could see that as a possibility. Now, is that the goal? I don't think so. I think they're just, hey, you were doing well in Wilkes-Barre. Let's call you up. I think you can make an impact. Let's hope you make an impact. I think it's that surface level. But it could lead to a win-win situation at the end of all the IR injury end dates. I can see it. Now, does that mean that's happening? No. Am I an analyst? Absolutely not. So I have no idea. I don't have conversations with Kyle Dubas. So he could be like, no, I just think they're playing good. So it could be as simple as that. Also, could be very calculated. God only knows. We will find out. So, Josh, would you agree or disagree with that? Or you're like, I'm not even going there?
Yeah, it's tough. I think it's hard to project just because we don't know what they actually look like back in the NHL. I think I find it hard pressed for a team to take a chance on them just based off of what they did in the AHL. So like you said, we'll have to see what goes on in the next 3 to 4 weeks. You did mention Rucker. I think he's going straight to Wilkes-Barre. So he's going to go there first. And then, hopefully in time he comes up. But yeah, we have him. We have Raquel coming back. We have Kevin Hayes coming back. So like you said, there's going to be stuff. Caleb Jones. There's going to be spots that that need to be made available for at least a couple of those guys who have already earned that spot. So that's where it'll be interesting, and the timing of everything will be interesting as well, because we learned about the loophole with being waiver exempt.
Yeah.
Not only Brunick, but the waiver exempt with Tristan Jarry last year. Because remember, he was sent down twice.
Yes.
So
a maybe conditioning stint. Yes.
Yes. So maybe they play that game again with with Danton Heinen and Ryan Graves after already being called up. So who knows how that's going to work? We'll see. No one knows how to manipulate the roster and the waivers and all that stuff like Kyle Dubas. Right. So we'll see what happens. You mentioned Brunick. We mentioned it. He's at 9 games now. Yeah. He plays one more game. That's it. He's done already into the ELC. However, another loophole that we learned: if he is scratched for 5 straight games, he could be sent to AHL for a short period of time.
14 days.
Do we do that? Do we scratch him now for 5 straight games to send him back down there?
So many moving parts.
I agree. I'm just saying it's now on the table. It's
sure.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? It is a wild. I don't even know. It's like what do they say? Moving the deck chairs on the Titanic. I mean, thankfully, I don't think we're on the Titanic right now.
Right.
But a couple more injuries, we might be. Who knows? But this is interesting. Yeah. I think the most interesting I've seen out of this so far is the theory that Jarry is not hurt, and that this is a manipulation of the injury report and essentially a benching without putting him down on putting him on waivers.
So due to the horrendous, speaking of Titanic, against Toronto, you think, hey, he got benched, he's done.
That's what I'm seeing. That's just what I'm seeing. Just what I'm seeing.
There was a question asked what to do with Murashov when Jarry returns. Is if he plays well, do you keep him? What do you do? Because obviously you want to do what's best for the team. You want to do what's best for us to succeed. So maybe that might be something very logical that the Pittsburgh Penguins may be doing, but we don't know. Obviously, we don't know. At the time of recording, we got news that Hollander left practice early, and Avery Hayes was a healthy scratch in Wilkes-Barre, so he may be coming up. God knows what's going on there. So there's a lot of moving parts right now. Kyle Dubas is a very busy man trying to figure this out. Also, I think O'Connor won the mayor of Pittsburgh or whatever. That looks exactly like Kyle Dubas.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that. Yeah.
To Kyle Dubas, he is Pahogum and mayor.
Mayor. I mean, the dude is a busy guy. So who knows what's going on with Kyle Dubas? He's going to figure out a lot of things. I think there's more calculate. Knowing Kyle Dubas, he's not just doing stuff to do it. I think there's very calculated. So maybe there is some merit to your theory. Hey.
Not mine. I don't want to take credit for that. I don't want to take credit for that.
Josh's theory. Okay. Josh said verbatim that this was his idea and this was his theory that Jari got benched on purpose and he's not even hurt. But anyway, I mean, if he was hurt, wouldn't Dan Muse kind of say, "Hey guys, the reason why we lost, our goalie was hurt"? You know, wouldn't you want to save face a little bit?
I don't know. Now it's got you thinking.
I'm getting a little conspiracy theorist going on because I'm like, wouldn't you want to say like?
As soon as I read it, I know.
Like, but no, you read your own theory. So
the whole episode I've been debating on if I even mention it, and I felt like I should.
Now it's in my head, but now you got everyone else thinking, Josh. So it will be connected back to you, I guess. So
all right.
I just wanted to say that.
All right. Well, now I want to know, are you on board with this conspiracy theory? Are you thrilled that Miroshov is here? Is he staying? Is he the guy? Is he who we all thought he is? This will be a great run. We want to hear from you. Make sure you let us know what your thoughts are. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Pens Collective. And lastly, do not forget, we go live after every game. So join us tonight after the Washington Capitals game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And as always,
let's go Pens.
It's Crosby. Crosby on Kunitz and shot. Penguins win it!
Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me?
We're a collective.